Remember to practice good sanitation habits at all times.
Sir, we've had another situation. A code red.
What? This is the third time in 2 weeks. This is unacceptable. How can this happen?
We think there was a system glitch. We're looking into it.
Damn it, you're all useless. I'll figure out what happened. But in the meantime, tell the others to be on high alert. I want more patrols and more rounds.
Right away, sir.
If you see anything even remotely suspicious, report it immediately. This absolutely cannot happen again. Got it?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Sean.
Ah. Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Father. Of course. You're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached a point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Sounds pretty simple.
Hopefully, yes. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
I'll act quickly. You can count on me.
You'll have a contact waiting for you just outside Bunker Hill. Good luck.
Watch your step, sir. Don't want to tunnel in unsuspectingly.
No life signs detected.
I hear something. Huh? What's that? Must have been nothing. Go for it. North.
X4.
I've been waiting for you.
Sorry to have held you up.
Try and keep up from here out. Our targets are inside, 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Take this. Need the key.
And this level of security is necessary these days. No long locked doors. Keep moving! Keep them off!
What was that, huh?
I know you are still there.
Bunker Hill is ours!
I want protected.
Utilizing stealth. How irreversible occurrence.
Must be destroyed.
Here they are.
God, it's a courser.
Oh no.
Issue the reset codes and we'll relay back to the Institute. Time is critical.
You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest. All right, Synth.
Please.
Z322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Is someone present?
Gonna splatter your brains!
Someone there? Hostile flight board.
Ah! Loaded! What's all this then? Bleed damage, guard!
I regret any suffering you may bear.
Huh? Gonna find you. Gonna kill you. Come out wherever you are. Oh no. Pity. Naughty work, but wouldn't want to leave the good stuff.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope...
So why come out here?
To put things in perspective, I suppose. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
It was a job that needed doing.
Yes, but it was also a job that you needed to be aware of. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
If you require maintenance, please file a report with the Facilities Division. A clean and healthy work environment
Do you
is
have a
essential
mic?
to maximum productivity.
No, it broke.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure, with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I don't think so.
It's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have. The project has been classified from the beginning. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please. As I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Please,
Can't be serious.
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Dr. Fillmore.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course. That's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Consider it done.
I'll consider it done when I've got it in my hands. I'm going with you.
No way. You're not going. You'd be a liability.
Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended.
Sensors indicate the presence of radiation.
Power's out. Nice.
Going down.
What's all this? No. Why don't you make this target? Picking up hostile life signs. Leave no survivors. It's just... Calm down! At least try to give us a challenge! Quite impressive. Even more so that it's still running.
Hello.
Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed. Please wait. Decontamination complete.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful. From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace.
If you encounter a hazardous
Dr. Fillmore.
Well, I see you managed on your own. I won't lie. I was a little nervous you wouldn't pull it off. Seems I needn't have worried. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand.
I see. Any additional pain or tenderness?
Not that I've noticed.
No more than interesting. You're sticking with the regimen?
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
Interesting. And you've been getting extra rest?
Are there many more details?
Any additional pain or tenderness?
Not that I've noticed, no. I feel quite well.
I see.
Yes, thank you.
Take good care of yourself, and you won't have to see too much of me.
Hello, Father. I hope your time in the Institute has been enjoyable.
You wanted to see me?
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
The job is done. That's what matters.
For the moment, yes. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of the Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
I only just got back. Now what?
I understand, but we have a problem. This situation, I'm afraid, is something of your creation, however unintentional.
If I've done something to jeopardize the Institute, I'll fix it. You have my word.
I have no doubt that you will. But it's nothing quite so dire. While you were assisting Dr. Fillmore, a second team was sent out to invite someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute. Apparently, there was some miscommunication, and this individual called for help, which arrived in the form of your Minutemen. My understanding is that no shots have been fired. I would like it to stay that way. I need you to go there and speak to your Minutemen gathered outside. Insist that they stand down at once. Dr. Thompson is on site, and he will be your primary contact. I know you can resolve this situation, but it is of paramount importance that this special individual be brought to the Institute immediately.
Why all this effort? What's so special about this person?
Mr. Wallace? Despite a lack of formal training, our surveillance has shown he has incredible intellect. With his help, we may be able to drastically speed up work on the reactor.
What's going on here?
You're an unexpected surprise. We could use the backup. These Institute bastards aren't getting away. They'll have to go through us to get out of there. We don't know quite what we're up against, but it's good you're here to help. How did you hear about this?
I can't believe you thought this was a valuable use of time and resources.
Are you kidding me? The Institute is clearly trying to kidnap a Commonwealth citizen. Again. And you're saying we shouldn't be here? I thought our whole purpose was to protect the people. To stop shit like this from happening. So, how do you want to play this? We thought about trying to lure him out here, since it'd be easier to kill him. But then we realized we probably ought to storm the place, to make sure they can't disappear on us. That makes sense, right? So, you want to lead the charge?
No one is going to do anything. Tell your men to stand down.
Are you kidding me? If we don't do something now, they're going to take that poor guy wherever it is they go. And we'll have failed. Again. Are you going to order the attack or not?
This whole thing is just a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? Can't wait to hear this. Explain to me how this is a misunderstanding.
You don't have all the information. I do. And I'm telling you, this isn't what it looks like. That man's not in danger.
Please, just let us speak to them and avoid any unnecessary bloodshed.
You'd better be right. If you're not, that man's life is on your head. I'll have my men stand down. But you'd better get in there and make sure you're right.
Thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
Everything's taken care of. You're safe.
Good. Good. It was bad enough that Wallace started giving us trouble, but then he called in those savages.
Those are good men out there. You have no right to insult them like that.
Those good men of yours wanted to kill me. Forgive me for not thinking terribly highly of them. Can we just get on with this, please? I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way.
Far as I can tell, you were only in harm's way because you screwed this up.
Look, I had the same intelligence reports as everyone else. No one saw this coming.
And I might add, with the synths you brought, it's no wonder he called for aid. Have you no discretion?
Do you know this man at all?
I know they've been keeping an eye on him for years. Not sure how they originally found him, but probably don't want to know. But once they realized how smart he was and what an asset he could be for Phase 3, they watched pretty closely. I think they even fed him scientific material from time to time to see how good he was, you know, testing him, to see if he was Institute material. Let's just get Wallace and get out of here.
We've already drawn enough attention. Time's wasting, so let's pick up the pace.
I'd love to. There's just, well, there's a slight problem with that. He doesn't want to go with us. I was thinking, maybe you could try and talk to him.
No problem. I'm sure I can get him to see reason.
I hope so. We really need him.
Busted. No use. Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
Please, try and relax. I know this is an unusual situation.
No! You're here to kidnap me. That's what you people do, isn't it? If you even are people. I've heard all the stories. I know exactly what happens to people when the Institute shows up. Well, it's not happening to me.
Hey, just calm down, okay? I just want to talk to you.
Fine, fine. What do you want from me?
The Institute needs your help, Mr. Wallace. It's as simple as that.
My help? With what?
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure in a way that's completely impossible anywhere else.
You'd be helping us create a better world.
That sounds good. Okay, fine. I'll go.
Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. I mean... Thanks for the assist.
Hey, I'm here to help. You're welcome.
I really mean it. I owe you one. I'll see you back in the Institute.
Sir, if I might bend your ear for a moment.
What's up, Codsworth?
So gracious, sir. I do appreciate it. I've always had such admiration for you and your family, ever since the day my visual sensors were first switched on. You and the missus, so good with young Sean, and so trusting of me to look after such a newborn bundle of joy. It just warms my nuclear core. So you can imagine the distress I felt when the bombs fell, after you fled to the vault. I searched, but found no evidence of your death. I could only hope you all made it in time. And when you returned, I was overjoyed. I admit I ran a full diagnostic scan just to make sure I wasn't malfunctioning. But the news of the missus and Sean, believe me when I say it takes a true hero to live through that.
I'm no hero, Codsworth. Believe me.
Don't sell yourself short, sir. In such a bleak world as this, think of all you've witnessed and all you've done. In my 200 years, I've seen it tear good men and women apart. But you, sir, you have remained the very model of what humanity should aspire to be.
Thank you, Codsworth. That means a lot.
No thanks necessary, sir. I wouldn't hear of it. I truly believe if the Commonwealth is to turn itself around, you're the one to do it. Now, not another word. I stand firm in my belief. Let's get back to it.
Hey.
Mr. Steve, here we are.
Are things all right between us?
So kind of you to inquire. You must know that I hold you in the highest regard. I do hope you feel the same.
That was it.
All right, then.
Hey, General.
Son.
Ah, there you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time. And it's all thanks to you.
A lot of work went into this before I even arrived. Just how close are we?
It shouldn't take long at all. The Facilities Division has it well in hand. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth, to request that they do not interfere with our plans. You should be the one to do it.
What kind of announcement are we talking about?
A broadcast. An announcement to the Commonwealth that the Institute is not to be trifled with. As the incoming director, that responsibility naturally falls to you. We've prepared some remarks for you to record. Once you're finished, we'll broadcast them to the entire Commonwealth. Use the microphone here and follow the script. It's quite simple. I'm sure you'll do fine, Father.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists. That we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth. We're here. And we are. The future. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your personal freedoms. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in unnecessary difficulties for all parties. Rest easy. Know that the future is in safe hands, and that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
Well, that was interesting. Perhaps not what we originally intended, but it will certainly get your point across. Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
I could use some fresh air.
A quaint phrase, though I'm afraid the air there is anything but fresh. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcast, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured. Report back when you're done. We should be ready by then.
I don't know why we let Valentine listen to it. He saves one or two people.
Hi. There. Travis.
This radio station, you'll notice there aren't any other ones. So...
Wonder what's inside. Just what does one do with so much junk?
Hey, Travis.
I don't, okay. I usually don't... This is why.
try this. Maybe this goes here? Alright. In you go.
Don't break my stuff if you don't mind. Hi? Hi?
Travis.
This radio station, well, you'll notice there aren't any other ones. So,
work bringing that rogue synth back. Logan have officially lost their minds. They'll be lucky not to be exiled. Sounds like things are pretty bad in bioscience. I hope you can resolve the situation.
My daddy says your father's daddy, but he looks so much older than you.
All systems nominal.
Synth Unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes. I mean, no, he's not. But I was only...
What is it? Were you or weren't you accessing a terminal in SRB?
I was, but I swear it's not what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal, and it switched on by mistake. I was just shutting it down.
Was that a stutter? Have you developed a defect, Unit? Maybe you need to be reset.
Sir, I assure you that won't be necessary. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. You don't want me to tell you twice. Now get back to your duties.
Nothing to report, sir.
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then? The transmitter has been modified.
Everything is in place. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors. This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked towards. After all your effort, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outpacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish, and we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future. The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you. All of you.
Can't believe he would accuse me.
After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
Now that the reactor works, what's next for the Institute?
We'll get to that. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. You should be there as Director.
power demand jumped another 5% this year.
The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too.
Yeah? I'm glad you talked me into coming here.
Sometimes Quentin is really mean to me, but my mom says I have to be nice anyway.
Well, hello.
My daddy says your father's daddy, but he looks so much older than you.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace.
May I be the first to
Glad it's
welcome you,
back
sir.
where it belongs.
We're looking forward to working with you.
I'm happy to be here, Dr. Fillmore. I hope I do the position justice.
I'm sure you will.
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
Where are you going with this? What's the Institute's goal?
Well, the Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
I agree. We hit them hard, before they have time to react to our new position.
Good. That's just what I wanted to hear.
As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
Well, if we increase synth production, we'd be able to deploy more of them to the Commonwealth to aid in our operations. Weapon development would improve the weapons we have available to us now, making our synths more effective in the field. Which would you prefer we focus on?
I've seen enough to know that weapons are the key to winning wars. Let's focus on weapons development.
As you wish. The Advanced Systems folks will get to work immediately. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
Being the director of the Institute is a serious commitment. I hope you understand that.
We are honored to welcome you here.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Ah, there you are. You've met with the Directorate. I assume they made their It was difficult for them to reach the decision to engage in open hostility. What about you? Do you agree with their decision?
How long has this been coming? When did they decide on this course of action?
The arrival of the Brotherhood's airship was the final straw, really. There's just too much at stake. You can't afford to lose it all.
You know, Father, it's no secret that you worked with the Railroad in order to first reach the Institute.
The depth of your involvement with them has been called into question repeatedly. I'm sure you can guess by whom. The question is, where do you stand with them now? Do you count them amongst your allies?
How I feel about them isn't important.
No, it is important. It's the only thing that matters right now. For the Institute's position in the Commonwealth to be secure, the Railroad must be eliminated. Completely. As our primary above-ground operative and someone who has had previous contact with the Railroad, you are in the best position to carry this out. So what I'm getting at, simply, is this. Are you willing to destroy them?
I can take care of them.
Good. Good. I don't enjoy asking you to put yourself in harm's way, but this is so important.